Swedish Public Radio is fourth news organization to leave Twitter.
Here's a summary of the article.
Swedish Public Radio has decided to leave Twitter after more than 14 years, saying the social media network has become less relevant in recent years. It makes it the fourth news organization to leave Twitter in less than a week. Sveriges Radio, which joined Twitter in 2009, was already reducing its presence on the platform. Statistics show that only 10% of Swedes use Twitter at least once a week and only 7% use it on a daily basis, making Twitter a relatively small player compared to apps like Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. The decision makes SR the fourth major news organization to leave Twitter in less than a week. SR was recently labeled as publicly funded media, but Gillinger said this is not the reason for the company's decision to leave Twitter because the label is an accurate description. We have of course noticed the recent turbulence around the platform, and for us it is, for example, worrying that Twitter has dramatically reduced its workforce, Gillinger said, adding that those factors played a role in its decision to leave Twitter.
This post received a score of 37,000, with an upvote ratio of 89%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
FYI, they comment that it's not because Twitter labeled them as a publicly funded media. They agreed with the label, calling it accurate.
For context, here's the statement they gave to SVT, the Swedish national public television broadcaster. Det ticker inte vi, RN, gra konstigator, utifrån, en hör definitionen sur ut just nu, s. Är det en korrekt beskrivning av hur Sveriges radio financieras? In English, we don't think that's strange, based on how the definition looks right now, it's a correct description of how Sveriges radio is financed.
The problem is that's a literal description, but the tag has historically been used to mark propaganda outlets. NPR is staunchly neutral, with only its opinion pieces having a leftward lean. It goes out of its way to air soundbites from the left and the right on every issue and does not comment on the factuality in most cases. They'll emphasize, right-wing protesters feel this is what's happening, and play a clip of one of them saying just that. Only in cases where there's huge expert consensus or hard evidence to the contrary will they fact-check a claim on the air.
Greater than the tag has historically been used to mark propaganda outlets. No, that's the state-affiliated tag. Publicly funded is the new one.
Has me thinking they should just label everything. Going to Fox, for-profit advertising supported media owned by Rupert Murdoch. Or Forbes, for-profit advertising supported media owned by Michael Forbes. You get a label, you get a label.
Twitter's value to news organizations are getting less and less as time passes. Combine that with Elon's arbitrary labeling, and trying to force business to pay is not exactly way to make your client want to stay.
Just to clarify, clients usually do pay for goods and services. The problem here is that news media are not clients of Twitter. Rather, by producing content that Twitter users wish to see, they are products which can be used to support ad revenue from and data sales to the actual clients.
But since they have to pay for the checkmark, they are technically also clients. Twitter is just trying to double dip at this point, making you both client and product.
Exactly the problem.
Elon's grand plan to turn Twitter into a bankrupt haven for Nazis and transphobes is coming along nicely. I kid, of course. The idea that Elon has ever made a plan for anything is pretty silly.
He could have saved himself money and just bought 4chan instead.
Being a non is the last thing Elon's ego can handle.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.